Okay, morning, you guys. So this is your lesson for today. We are starting the unit. The unit will be chapter 12. So these would be your lesson. These would be the notes I would give you. I do recommend perhaps maybe you guys taking out a piece of paper and taking the notes at the same time. So as you're writing, hopefully you're learning. We're going to be doing 12:1 just for today. A very simple lesson. So the unit is on sequence and series. So first we're going to learn sequence. So today's lesson again is 12:1, and it is to define what a sequence is. So what a sequence is. It is a list of consecutive numbers with a pattern. The key thing is there has to be some kind of pattern, and a lot of times we could say they are separated by commas. So let me give you guys a for example. So this would be a sequence. 1, 3, 5, 7, ... And the ... obviously means you have a repeating pattern. So what you guys need to understand is this term, I'm going to call it A1. A1 is going to be our first term. This term would be called A2. This term is A3, A4, and so forth. ... This final term, which we have no idea what it is going to be called A sub n. So A sub n, again, is going to be our last term, or in this case, really, you can use it as any term in the sequence. We just don't know what it is. So A1, A2, A3, A4, and so forth, these are what we call the position or the location of the numbers. So this is your first location, your second location, your third position. What I need you guys then to just understand is the actual numbers, just because I interchange the words. So the actual numbers themselves are called terms. When we substitute into the formula. So this is what a sequence is. Again, it's just a pattern of terms. I just want you to understand that this is what we call A1. This would be A2, A3, and so forth. And the last term, what we can say is maybe A sub n, in case you hear me talk about the wording of them. Okay? Here's where I'm going to ask you your first question, and this is what you're going to see on your homework assignment. So when you're doing your homework assignment for tonight, please refer to this type of question. I'm going to start numbering the questions, and in the end, that's how many question types you guys can see. So a sequence, if you just want to write this stuff down again, can be specified by an equation. You can hear me call it a rule or a formula. This is called an explicit formula. Now let's just write maybe the definition of explicit, so in case you're wondering, hey, what is she talking about when she's using the word explicit? Because there are two types. For right now, we're going to stick with learning what an explicit formula means. So an explicit formula, we can say, is a formula slash, again, rule, where, and here is going to be a keyword, any, and again, this will make sense more down the line, term can be found by substituting the position or location n into the formula. Oops, ran out of room. But again, the key word here for an explicit rule is the fact that you guys can use, and you could find any term. Again, you don't know anything different, but that's the main idea. So now let me give you guys your first example. Again, I'm going to number them, so this way when you're talking about your homework, I can say refer to this question. But for tonight's homework, this is the only type of question you're really going to be dealing with. So question number 1. What the question can say for this type of concept is just write the first 3 terms of. So a sub n equals 2n plus 5. This is me giving you guys the question. So what we want to understand is this that I wrote for you right here. This is what we call the explicit formula. I am giving you an explicit formula that you will use to find me any, there's that keyword, any number I want. For right now, I just want you guys to find the first 3 terms. So here's what we do. We can say like a sub 1, the first term. Okay, well, if I use the formula 2n plus 5. And let's just make this a sub n. Let's just write our formula down actually first. Now, watch. It's really simple. When using this formula, if I want a sub 1, all you're doing is replacing n with 1. Hence the n, the 1. So 2 times 1 plus 5 is 7. Okay? Let's find a sub 2. Again, these are our terms. So 7 is a term, that's your first position. So you're just going to replace n with the number 2. And we get 9. And here is the third term. You're just subbing in 3, 11. So your first 3 terms are 7, 9, and 11. Again, these are called your terms. Hopefully this kind of makes some sense. This is your a sub 1, so your first term. A sub 2, your second term. And we could say a sub 3, which again, first position, second position, third position. These are our terms. Again, this is read as a sub n. And then here is your formula. And you're just substituting the values in. So I could then ask you guys one other question, which is the same kind of idea. So let's just do one more example. But this is all you really have to worry about. So here's your second example. Find me again the first 3 terms, so the directions are the same. And I'm giving you guys your explicit formula. A sub n equals n over n plus 1. Okay, so all you're doing is substituting the values in. So here we go. For example, you have a sub 1, the first position. I'm just substituting 1 into wherever I see the n. So it's 1 over 2. A sub 2. Now I'm just substituting 2. Uh-oh, ran out of room. Which is 2 over 3. And then let's do a sub 3. Again, you're just replacing that n. So it becomes 3 over 4. So again, the first 3 terms here are 1/2, 2/3, and 3/4. That would be your answer. And that's kind of all you have to really know for tonight's lesson. It's very simple. I'm not sure if they ask a question like this, but if they do, just to show you briefly, I could give you, again, a rule, and I could say a sub n equals 3 minus 4n. If I said, I'm not sure if tonight's homework is like that, a sub 7. What this means is this, again, the 7 is the 7th position. I want to know what is that term. All you have to do, because I told you this explicit rule finds any term, is just substitute the 3 where you see the n. So 3 minus 4 times 7. So you get 3 minus 28, negative 25, and that would be your answer. That is all of 12.1. Again, it's building on the rest of our lessons. So there you guys see that. Let me just do a quick summary again. So just to kind of recap, you guys see that's what a sequence looks like. Again, these are called terms, but the position is the first position, the second, the third position. We're going to be working with explicit formulas. And again, any term can be found. That'll make sense when I teach you something else. And I'm pretty sure these are the only homework kind of questions you guys have for tonight. Okay, so please refer to your Google Classroom for the homework assignment. You can also look stuff up. You can use the book. I made this really detailed. Hopefully you guys found it okay. And I will post you guys the lesson and then tomorrow's as well. All right, you guys. Bye.